want you to kind of, this is going to be kind of ironic, but I actually want you to be in your head. So
Okay.
what do I mean by that? Let's go to the far end, and I want you to imagine the moment that you're like the most nervous, and how you would be when you're really nervous. Because when we can go this far this way, it can help us see the difference, and then that's what allows the workshopping to start happening. So when we start here, one of the things when we're nervous or we don't know what to say is we say a lot of uh, um, and that starts to come out, because what we're doing is we're trying to find the words, and our brain's not making a connection from the mind to the mouth. So when we're in that thought, we go, so what I want us to do first is we're going to just talk about what we did over the weekend. And I want us to start at 0 and say like a lot of ums and ahs. And ideally, as well, as we're over on this side, we're going to kind of enhance the nervousness, just so that we could see what it's like here, and then what verbal fluency starts to happen when we start articulating ourselves and those ums and ahs aren't there. Now, what's kind of great, I've already been interacting with you. You already naturally don't have too many, so this is going to be a good exercise for you to kind of see the transformation. So I'll start, and then you can model me and go off of your weekend. So you'll use the content for yourself, but then I'll use the content for myself. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. But I'm already a little bit nervous because I'm trying to think of what I did this weekend, this past
Even
weekend.
better. Even better. So we're going to kind of be a bit monotoned, and then kind of focused on enhancing the nerves. So those nerves that you're feeling, I actually want you to be nervous. So if you can be more nervous, that's even great. If you can say more ums and ahs, even better. So this actually, I'm going to be like, make it as messy as possible, which is good. So I'll go first. This weekend, what did I do? I went to oh yeah, I went to Manning Park, which was really nice. Me and my wife, we walked in nature, and I ended up actually going into the sauna, which was really nice. Okay, so that's an example. So when you're ready, 3, 2, 1, go ahead.
Past weekend on Saturday, the first thing I did is actually my church has like this really early morning prayer thing that we're doing, which is that runs for 2 weeks every year. And so Saturday at 5 in the morning, I took my younger son to church and heard a speaker, but now I forget what the speaker talked about. That was weird. And then most of the day Saturday, I tried to spend time with my older son because he has the upcoming test that my wife wants him to do well in. And so I was trying to help him uh, in improving his reading. It's a test about English language arts. So I'm trying to help him to get a high score on the test, which he's actually taking today. He might already be done with the test now, but he's in seventh grade, and so we want him to be able to qualify to go to like this honors level class, so he has more potential in the future. And right now his reading is just kind of average. So I was working with him pretty much all day. And when I say working with him, probably like I've been kind of like telling him to do his work or like do extra work. I tried to read with him a little bit, but honestly, I probably didn't read with him a lot. I mainly just told him that he should do what he needs to do. What else did I do Saturday? I think, yeah, I'm blanking. I'm blanking what I did all day on Saturday.
Okay, and break. Okay, good job. Okay,
Yeah.
awesome. So now we kind of have a set point. We kind of want to see what the mind does, kind of trying to find thoughts. So now what we're going to do is I want you to say the same thing. We're going to go back over your weekend. You're going to say the same thing, but now let's take it to a bit more of a 5. So that was like a slow, you've already said it once, so you're trying to find your thoughts, and that makes sense. But what's going to happen is the more you say it, the more it's going to come to your mind. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to take it to a 5. So what a 5 is going to look like may look something like this. So this past weekend, I went to Manning Park, and my wife and I went and started going on a walk. And on Saturday, we actually enjoyed it so much that on Sunday, we went back and did the exact same thing. But this time, we ended up going into the sauna. Okay, so you see how there's moments instead of now in the gap where I don't say I'm starting to, but I'm pausing to find my thoughts. But because I've said the content already once, I'm not going to have to pull it as much. Does that make sense? So we're going to take it a bit more
Right.
to a 5 now.
Okay.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, begin.
Okay. This past weekend, I remember it was pretty much a relaxing weekend for me. My church had some special morning prayer thing going on for a couple of weeks, so I took my younger son to this early morning prayer thing at 5 in the morning, and I still don't remember what the guy talked about, but I remember overall it was a good experience. And then I spent the rest of the day just with my older son and trying to help him increase his score on a test that he's taken today in reading English. And so I kind of spent my time with that, and I think I did a bunch of housework. Basically, I think I spent the whole day at the house.
Okay, and break. Good job. Okay, so what did you notice from 0 to 5 there? What's the difference?
It was just more connected, more quicker, but I'm kind of like not happy about not remembering anything about anything
If you
about
want, you could take a
the good
moment and
experience I
actually
had.
think, like, what did I actually do? If you
Yeah,
want.
like I actually take notes. I take notes on those on like the whole like prayer special thing that my church is doing. I take notes, so if I take a look at the notes, I'll remember, of course. But then that's not really remembering because I forgot. So yeah, it's just so weird how I just totally blanked on what I did the whole day on Saturday. I know I did a bunch of housework, but it's like not so exciting, right? Just housework at home. Um, yeah, Sunday
But
was
yeah,
a
if what
little
would you
more
say the
interesting.
difference from like 0 to 5? What would you say you saw the
I would
difference?
say it's just more smoother. Uh, Maybe a little bit more confidence in talking.
Okay, great. So now what we're going to try to do is we're going to bring it to an 8. So the energy is going to go up a bit. And now that we've known our content a bit more, it's going to be a little bit more easy. So now energy level doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to be talking faster. Although if we want to talk faster, we can to bring the energy levels up. But what we're going to do is we're going to build on each other. So now we're going to take it up to an 8. So here's what it could look like. So this past weekend, my partner and I, we went to Manning Park, and in Manning Park, we went and walked around this frozen lake, which was awesome. We enjoyed it so much that on Sunday, we went back and did the exact same thing. We walked around the lake, but this time it was snowing. And we actually ended up going into the sauna as well, which was an amazing experience. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1, begin.
Oh, this past Saturday, I had a special early morning prayer that my church works through for a couple of weeks. So I took my younger son there, and I remember it being really good, but for some reason I just still can't think of what the guy talked about. And then the rest of the day, I spent time with my older son, just trying to help him improve his score on a test that he's taken today. And along the whole rest of the day, I think I did a bunch of housework.
Okay, and break. Okay, good job. What we're gonna do is we're gonna bring the energy levels up one more notch. So see if you can do exactly what you did, but now try to bring the energy just a little bit higher, okay? In 3, 2, 1, begin.
This past weekend was a pretty relaxing weekend for me. Early in the morning, we have a special prayer event that my church is putting together for a couple of weeks. So I took my younger son to his prayer meeting worship time at 5 in the morning. I remember it being really good. I just don't remember what he talked about. And then the rest of the day, I spent time with my older son, trying to help him improve his test scores for English um, and language arts type of test. I'm trying to have him go to a next higher level, so he has to really do well on the test today.
Okay, right. Good job. So what would you say the difference is from 0 to that level?
Maybe a little bit more details. Um, yeah, more details. I feel very not really super confident because I feel the topic is pretty bland. Like I didn't do much, and I can't even think of exactly what I did. Obviously, but yeah, so it's kind of hard to be excited about something that I don't remember too well.
This is good because we want a progression. So this is awesome. Okay, so now the situation that you're in, are you able to stand up or no? Where you are right now? Or will it be weird if I do
Oh,
just get you to do some body movement? Or are you in a room on your own or
no, I can stand up.
okay, so let's just get you to stand up. I just want to do some body work and some voice exercises. What this will do is change your physiology and it will allow you to open
Okay.
up and it will gain more access to your mind, actually. Okay, great. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by I'll bring the laptop down so you can see. We're going to start by tapping out the body. So you're going to tap the legs out like this, all the way down and up to your hips on the outside of your legs. Then we're going to go on the inside of the legs. And then now we're going to come up into the hips. So you're going to tap your hips like this. Good. And then we're going to come into the back. Good. And then to the stomach. This is where the voice comes from, is down here in the stomach. We're going to tap this out here. And then now we're going to come up into the chest. Up into the chest. Good. And then we're going to tap out the left arm. So tap out the left arm all the way to the wrist and then back up. And then the other side of the arm. Good. And then tap under here. Under your, yeah, just like that. Perfect. And then we'll come to the other side of the body. Same thing. Tapping out the arm. What this does is just wakes the body up a bit. You're in Eastern, potentially, it sounds like you're interested in Eastern philosophy. So our body has meridians and the energy channels can get stuck. So come back to the chest. Then we'll tap the back of the neck. Good. And then the throat, open up the throat. We'll just tap with your fingers like this. Good. And then coming up into the back of the head. And then the top of the head. And now coming into the forehead, just tap the forehead. Good. Coming into the temples. Underneath the eyes. This is a very important spot when we speak. It's actually the first place to go. We lose our eyes and our cheeks when we feel anxiety or nervousness. Tapping the jaw. Good. And then open your mouth and do this. And we're going to massage the jaw like this. We use this thing all the time. And very often we don't open it up. It gets stuck. So opening the mouth. Good. Yeah, like that. Good job. Good. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to stretch the face a little bit. So it's going to look like this. It might feel a little weird, but we're going to do a big face like this. And then make a small face. Squishy face. And make a big face. And make a small face. Uh-huh. Okay. Okay, great. Now you're just gonna shake the body out. So just shake in whatever way feels good. Just to, if you want to bounce up and down, this is always a good one. It's really good for the lymphatic system. Get the shoulders going up and down. And what we want to do is just shake the body out. This just allows any tense energy in the body, any nervousness. You can kind of shake your hands like this. Good. Yep. Good. And then if you want, you can kind of kick your legs out. Just shake your legs. We'll step on one foot to the other. Just kind of shake. Good. And then now what we'll do is we're just going to slightly warm up the vocal cords. So we're going to put our hands on our belly. The reason we put our hands on our bellies, we want to eventually, you see how I move my belly like this? We want to eventually be able to speak from down here. A lot of us speak from here or from here, and our voice gets stuck.
Okay.
But if we can speak from down here, imagine our stomach like an accordion, right? The accordion goes out and it comes in, and that's where the power comes from. That's where the where we can get the cadence, the projection, the vocal variety, all of that comes from actually down here. When I first started, I always get my voice stuck here and it would blow my voice box. So what we want to do is bring awareness down to the belly here so that we can eventually speak from down here. And so as you speak, all the air will come from this way. So we just bring awareness here. So what you can do is to start by taking a gentle breath in through the mouth, into the belly, and then out. Good. Into the belly. Yep, exactly like that. And then push your hands kind of slightly on your belly and let go on an exhale. Just bringing awareness to the voice. Inhale and then exhale. Good. Now you're going to hum. So you don't have to go too loud, but just what we're going to do is we're going to breathe in and we're going to make a hum sound to warm up the vocal cords. So it's going to sound like this. And you can join me when you're ready. One more time. Okay, great. And allowing yourself to come back to center. Now I want you to try a little tongue twisters with me. So we're gonna warm up the mouth and the tongue. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put each tongue on each tooth and we're gonna go clockwise. So it's gonna look like this. What this does is just warms up the tongue.
Okay.
And now let's go the other way. Okay, great. Now we're gonna do a little tongue twister. So you can repeat after me. Red lorry.
Red. Did you say lorry?
Red lorry.
Red is lorry.
Yep. Yellow lorry.
Yellow lorry.
Red lorry.
Red lorry.
Yellow lorry.
Yellow lorry.
Red lorry.
Red lorry.
Yellow lorry.
Yellow lorry.
Okay. Unique New York.
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 Okay. Now we'll do a little bit quicker. Unique New York.
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 Okay. She sells
She sells
seashells
seashells
by the seashore.
by the seashore.
Okay, all together. She sells seashells by the seashore.
She sells seashells by the seashore.
Okay, a little bit quicker. She sells seashells by the seashore.
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 Great. One more time. She sells seashells by the seashore.
Seashells by the seashore.
Okay, awesome. Grab a seat. Great work. How was that?
That was good. It was like exercise.
Yeah, it's a slight warm up, let the body go, kind of get centered. Do you notice any shifts in your body at all or your state?
I feel just kind of my whole body's been more relaxed. Um, and then while we are doing that, I kind of remembered something about my Saturday, is that which is that my younger son didn't join me at all. It was the one day he missed because he wanted to sleep in.
Oh yeah, okay. So he wasn't even there.
Yeah, he wasn't even there.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, so now let's just try doing the exact same thing, say the same thing. Just go again. Start from the beginning. Tell me about your weekend.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting. It was a pretty relaxing weekend. Saturday early in the morning, I went to church. My church is having like a 2 week like early morning worship thing going on, and this Saturday, the past Saturday was the first Saturday my son didn't join. I tried to get him up, but he didn't wake up, so I kind of went kind of late because I thought he was going to join me, and I kind of went late, so I kind of just barely made it. I forget what the guy talked about, but it was good regardless. And then after that, um, I guess my church was needed help with decorating for Christmas, so I helped with like decorate the church a little bit with Christmas decorations, and I did that just for a brief time, and then I did a bunch of other chores, mainly helped with my older son, who's going to take a English language composition test, and we want to try to help him get a high score so that he could be in a higher level class next semester.
All right, and break. Okay, awesome. So now what I want us to do, just because we're warming up, now I want you to talk about something you're passionate about. So what's a subject that you, or an area that you feel like you're passionate about, that's something that you can speak about quite easily?
I guess exercise is the easier one to talk about. Um, yeah, I started running recently, and I'm getting more consistent at it. Then I started this whole challenge of doing as many push-ups as I can, and I've actually made some pretty good gains. Uh, so I guess I could talk about that. Uh, yeah,
Okay, great.
music. I
Let's
like
let's
music.
yeah, I'll give you an example. I'll go first
Okay,
and then let's talk about that. I'll just talk on your subject as if it's an example. So
okay.
maybe I think that you right now, based upon what you did when we went from 0, 5, 7 or 0, 5, 8 and 10, where would you say you feel the best at of that 0, 5, 8 and 10?
When you say the best, like how I feel when I'm talking that way.
Yeah, like as you're expressing, for me personally, I think it might be the way that you will come across. It might be best basically how I'm receiving. If we can go at like a 6 or a 7, that kind of energy level with the passion and the
Okay,
communication. If we can try to think of it as like a 7 or a 6, that way it will kind of push you a little bit further, but not too far where your authentic self doesn't come out, if that makes sense. So let's
okay,
start by trying the subject matter. I'll go first. I'll try to give you like a 6 or a 7 and then see if you
okay.
can kind of match the energy. Okay, so something I'm passionate about is running. I absolutely love running. It's something I never did in my younger years, but now as I'm getting older and I'm understanding health at a much deeper level, I see the importance of exercise, specifically in running. Now, when I started running, that brought in a whole new element that I didn't even know about myself. And now I prefer also to do other exercises on top of running because it adds to the dynamic of my strength. Okay, something like that. All right. 3, 2, 1. Subject matter doesn't matter. It's more so about what's passionate into you. Okay. So 3, 2, 1. Begin.
The thing I'm passionate about is running and exercise in general. Actually, I'm not really much of a runner, and I just started running recently, maybe 6 months ago. And in the beginning, I just started just trying to get the habit of running. So I just ran just for like 5 minutes, something I could do. And then I just tried to do that slowly and build up on that. And then I said, okay, 5 minutes is pretty easy. So I just add another 5 minutes. And then the next week I ran for 10 minutes. And then a lot of times I'll just, and by the way, when I'm running, it's like I'm running at a very slow pace. I actually intentionally try to run very slowly. Um, I read a book recently about actually it's the title of the book is Slow as F Running Club. So it's the whole point is just like just don't try to run fast, just try to run slow and just try to just try to get that consistency up there. So I actually started increasing my time. So now I'm at the point where I'm running pretty regularly, 25 minutes. And I don't feel I need to go any longer than that. 25 minutes is like the sweet spot for me, where that's just perfect amount of running. And I still run at a slow pace, like I would say like a 20-minute mile, maybe 17-minute mile. It's really slow pace still. But it really ups my energy after that run. I feel much better. I feel like I get more energy at the end of the day too, just by having that run. And then also, I got challenging myself to do some push-ups. And, I would say like about maybe 6 to 8 weeks ago, I tried to do maximum amount of push-ups. I was able to do 16. And then I found this YouTube thing where it's like a 15-minute workout thing, or actually 10-minute workout thing, and I followed that and I tried to do 2 or 3 days out of the week. And every week I ended up kind of increasing it 2 or 3 times, 2 or 3, and now I'm at the point of uh, getting up to a high of 37. I did 37 last Sunday. Um, so my goal was 40 actually last Sunday, so I just missed it, but it's still great nonetheless. And I feel like I can continue and I can reach that 40 very soon.
Okay, great. Good job. Great work. What do you think the difference was from saying that to the very first time? What do you think some of the differences are?
The very first time in talking about the weekend, or first time?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like the when we very your first time going to where you are right now.
I feel, I think the subject matter made it easier for me because I had something to talk about. So yeah, and and I think recently I discovered that it is kind of something I'm passionate about, so it's easier for me to talk about. So I feel like, yeah, maybe it was like a 5 or 6.
Okay, great. Yeah, so I can see everything starting to stack. I don't want to overwhelm you, but I want to keep how are you doing? Are you okay if I keep kind of like adding little dynamics to all this?
Sure,
Okay,
that's fine.
awesome. Okay, great. So now what I want to do is now that we've got the subject matter, I feel the cadence and the way that the words are coming out is coming out really great. Now what I want to do is see, can we add a little bit of animation to it? So what I mean by this is right now, I think you're kind of leaning forward, sitting on the desk. Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe
sure.
sit back a little bit, feel a bit more relaxed. And if you can, see if you can bring a little animation or enthusiasm. So some of the ways that you could do that is you can add a bit of facial expressions, maybe some hand gestures as you express. So something I love is I love running. That is what I'm passionate about. The reason I'm passionate about it is because it's something I discovered really recently. And you know what's interesting? I don't actually run fast. I actually run slow. And the reason for that is I find that it's better on my joints and I actually get more out of it. And only recently have I discovered this thing on YouTube where it's allowing me to now add strength component to it. And I'm doing push-ups. You see how I'm kind of bringing a little energy up, coming down. I'm using hand gestures, a little animation. So this round, exactly same content. Let's just add a little animation to it. Does that make sense?
Sure,
Give it a go.
sure. Okay,
We're painting
okay,
together. So, all right,
sure.
ready? In 3, 2, 1, go ahead.
Okay, one thing I'm passionate about recently is exercise. I haven't been very consistent exercise, but actually the past 6 months or so, I've started running, which I'm not really a runner, but I started running regularly. First, I started out very slow. I intentionally ran slowly. I'm still running slow on purpose, but I feel it's better on my joints. I feel like it actually helps me more. And the thing about running slow is it makes it things doable. Like you could do it and you don't like tire out so fast. If I'm running at high speed fast, and of course I get tired out and I might quit. But by running slow, I'm able to keep the pace that I want. In the beginning, like six weeks ago, I was maybe running like 5 minutes or 10 minutes at a time, and then just stopping intentionally just to get that 10-minute mark to stop. And then I just added like 5 minutes. I would run 10 minutes. It'll be pretty easy at the end of 10 minutes. So I'll just say, I'll just run 5 minutes more, and then built to 15 minutes, and then 20. Now I'm at 25, and I think 25 is the perfect amount of running. I don't think I need to push any more than that. I feel like I get the energy. At the end of the day, I feel more energized too. And now I just added a strength component. I found this YouTube that tells you how to train to increase your push-up numbers. So I guess about 6 weeks ago, my maximum was 16, and last Sunday I tested myself, and I'm at 37. Um, I had a goal of making 40. I missed it by a few, but hey, it's still great, and I still am getting there, and I think I'm gonna reach 40 maybe next weekend. So I'm gonna keep on going for it, and in the meantime, just my whole body feels great. I feel like I'm getting more energy, and I think that things could just look up from here.
All right, awesome, great job. How did that one feel? The difference from the last one to this one. How do you feel now?
I feel more confident. Feels like uh, you kind of I feel a little more organized too, because it's like there's a running component, like you're saying, there's a strength component that I add on top of that. And so it kind of feels like, yeah, there's a direction to it.
Nice. Yeah, you're starting to flow with the content now as well. So really good
Yeah.
job. I love that you were adding the hand gestures in. I love that you're adding the animation. And now I was leaving this one till last because I don't want to. This one is going to be a little bit more focused, but we're just gonna see if we can workshop it through. Now that you're a bit more
Okay.
familiar with the content, your delivery is you're adding more animation to the delivery. Now I've
Yeah.
got a challenge for you.
Okay.
So when we start to think of our next word, we tend to go and then you say the next thought, and then say the next thought. The reason that that sound comes out is it allows us to grab our next thought. So it kind of keeps us speaking. So this round, in that moment when you're grabbing your thought, instead of saying see if you can just be silent in that for that moment. So I'll give you an example. I'm passionate about running, and the reason I love running is because so that's where the would come in to sync to the next sentence. But can you, if you can, instead of using that filler word can you just be pause in that moment? So the reason I'm passionate about running is I love the aspect of running. And just, I'm going to just kind of take a side note here. When we pause, what it can do is it actually draws people in as well. So pauses are very powerful because they can draw people in. But what they also can do is help us grab our next stream of thought. So if you want, I would invite you to pause and grab your thought and then go into the next thought stream. So this round, what I want you to do is, if you can, say the exact same thing, but take a pause instead of saying in between the transitions. Any questions on that?
I didn't, yeah, I don't even realize how much I said the last one because I wasn't thinking about saying
I didn't
but I
want to
probably
make
said
you aware of this because I wanted
Yeah,
to
yeah,
build, but this is the one
right,
now that I
right.
want to make you aware of, and I think we can work this one out. I think you're doing a great job. No pressure.
Okay,
We're painting, so it's all good. We're having
right,
fun. All
right,
right,
right.
3, 2, 1, begin.
Okay, one thing I'm pretty passionate about is exercise and running. I haven't been doing it for a very long time. I just started maybe 6 months ago. But what I did is I started really slow. Like in running, I tried to just run just 5 minutes in the very beginning. And I ran intentionally at a very slow pace, just so that I could do it. That's easy to do. And then I get my habit going. And then after that, running 5 minutes is pretty easy. So I just said, hey, why not just add 5 more minutes? So I ran 10 minutes, and then I built it up to 15. Um, and actually, one thing that helped me thinking about it is running sometimes is a little bit boring, so I always listen to music. One song is like 4 minutes, so just listen to like four songs and that's 15 minutes already. So now I'm built it up to like 25 minutes, so I listen to like 6 or 7 songs, and that's like 25, 28 minutes. Now I feel great. At the end of the day, I feel more energized. And actually, I just added a strength component too. So I'm actually uh, trying to increase my push-up strength and trying to increase my push-up max. So about 6 weeks ago, I started out 16 as my highest, and then just last Sunday, I tested myself on that 37. I had a goal of making 40. I'm just shy of that, but at least I'm going in the right direction now, and I feel great. And yeah, I'm really excited for my whole body getting stronger too.
Okay, Brett, good job. What did you notice? What did you notice in that round?
I noticed that I said a few times.
And by being present to it, it kind of sometimes can put pressure on it, right?
Right, right.
But so what did you notice? Did you know, were you present to when you were saying and speaking at the same time?
Yeah, like I remember saying it, and as I was saying it, I could, like, I knew it was coming out, but I ended up saying it anyway. So,
Yeah, obviously there's a habit of speaking in a certain way for a certain period of time. So to kind of rework all of that all in one session would take a bit of work. But what we can do is bring conscious awareness to it. So what I want to do is I want you to practice saying that same thing, but we're going to speak very slow now. So I want you to say exactly what you were saying before, and I want you to take time with it. And as you take time with what you're saying, go slower if you need to find time to find your thoughts. Be okay with the pauses. Because what I want you to do is practice getting those thoughts out without needing to sink and fill the air. Okay, so say exactly what you just said, but slow it right down. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go ahead.
one thing I'm passionate about recently is running. I haven't been, I'm not really a runner per se, but just maybe about 6 weeks ago, I started running regularly. Or 6 months ago, I started running regularly. I started out very slow. I intentionally started just running 5 minutes and stopping on purpose, just so I get the habit of running. Because I'm not a runner. But then I slowly built up on that. And then while I'm running, I do sometimes get bored just running. I find running kind of boring sometimes. So I do listen to music, which also helps. So one song is like 4 minutes. So just listening to two songs is already 8 minutes. So I slowly built it up. So after running at a slow pace, which is easier to do, I found myself running like 10 minutes, then 15 minutes. Then when I was at 20 minutes, I just kept telling myself, okay, I run 20 minutes, just run 5 minutes more and make it 25. And now I think 25 minutes is like the perfect time for me. And doing that, it just helps me to complete it and also feel good. And it makes me be confident that it's doable. And at the end of the day, I feel like I have more energy. I feel like it's really helping me just my whole life. And then interestingly, I added a strength component too. Like we saw a YouTube video, like a short workout, a 10-minute workout to increase my push-up strength. So maybe 6 weeks ago, my maximum was 16 push-ups. I tested myself last week. Now I'm at 37. That's just shy of the 40 goal that I had. But hey, I'm getting there. I'm going the right direction. I feel like I am getting stronger and it feels great.
All right. You probably halved them now this time, which is great. Good job. What did you feel the improvement was that time? What shifted?
Just intentionally kind of slow it down. I think they got it a little bit more smooth.
Okay,
That's
so
it.
now what I want you to try is this. You're gonna take your phone up in your hand, and I want
Mm-hmm.
you to talk and walk and tell me the story. Say exact same content. Are you able to do that, or what's your room situation like? Can people see in?
Not people just, yeah, I mean, there's some people working, but I'm actually in a section of the library where it's kind of like a group area where you're
Okay.
allowed to talk
Just
in this area.
okay.
Yeah,
So just to hold it, I want you to sit. Yeah, just sit, hold, and then try it
yeah.
again like this. Okay, same thing, just like
Okay.
that. Three, two, one, go ahead.
One thing I'm passionate about is running and exercising. Recently, I just started getting into running and exercising. About 6 months ago, I started running, and in the beginning, on purpose, I ran slowly, and I ran just for 5 minutes, just so that I could do it. And then after 5 minutes of running, I increased it to 10 minutes. And usually, when you run 10 minutes at a slow pace, it's really doable. So when I see that time's up, I just think to myself, oh, why don't I just add 5 minutes more? And the thing that helps me is listening to music. A song is about 4 minutes, so I just add one more song, just run a little bit more. Now I put myself up to running 25 minutes consistent, and that's about 6 or 7 songs. I get to enjoy the music. I get to enjoy the run. Again, I'm still running at a slow pace because I don't want to stress my joints out. I just want to get that consistency going. And then interestingly now, I added a strength component because I found a YouTube video that just lays out a really easy, doable strength routine and increasing your push-up numbers. So about 6 weeks ago, I started at my maximum 16, and this last Sunday I tested myself on that 37. So I'm just shy of that 40, and I think that 40 is really doable. Maybe I'm going to reach it next week. So I feel great, and I think one of the great passions right now that I have.
All right. Good job. What do you feel by the difference of your body posture? What do you think happened there?
Just felt a little bit more relaxed. It brought a little bit more focus, I guess.
Yeah, so I think what's happening is like when you're sitting over and like crouching down, what it's doing is changing your physiology. But by sitting up and allowing your
Yeah,
chest to open up more allows for more oxygen to the brain and allows you to grab your thoughts more. So you don't have to focus as much. Okay, let's do this. Let's bring the energy up one more notch and do it one more time, okay? In three, two, one, let's go.
one thing I'm passionate about recently is exercise and running. I'm not really, I don't consider myself really a runner, but 6 months ago I started running regularly. In the beginning, I just ran for 5 minutes. I intentionally made it easily doable and on purpose ran as slow as possible. And then slowly I built it up 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and now I'm at 25 minutes. And I also add music to it to make it more interesting for me. A song is usually about 4 minutes, so I just listen to 6 or 7 songs and I'm already there. At 25 minutes running regularly now, I feel great. I feel like I have more energy at the end of the day. I also added a strength component where I'm trying to increase my push-up numbers. So I found a YouTube video that lays out a very short workout to increase the push-up numbers. So 6 weeks ago, I started a max at 16. Now last Sunday, I tested myself on that 37, just shy of 40. I think I could reach it maybe the next week. So I'm really glad I picked up this challenge and challenging myself, and I feel passionate about exercise
All right, break. Okay, good job. Okay, how's your mind? How's your brain? Check in with me.
now. I feel like it's kind of like a matter of practice. Like when you're practicing more, you get more comfortable. Uh, and but it actually helps me. I can see that it helps me be more smooth and organize my thoughts more. So if I actually want to like be like one of those like short talks about what you're passionate about, then I could actually present this a lot better than the very first time I presented it.
Right. Yeah, so are you seeing the power of spaced repetition and saying the same thing over again and then it kind of forms in your brain?
Yeah, definitely, definitely see that. But I am getting kind of tired now.
Yeah,
I'm tired of saying the same
there's a
thing over
sweet
again.
spot. So we're
Yeah.
done now in that segment.
Okay.
Um,
All right.
there's like a sweet, yeah, there's like it's called the optimal frontier. It's like where we hit a point and then if you exhaust yourself and then it's like if you were
All right.
if you choose to focus on this now, like say forget about it all today and then come
Mm-hmm.
back tomorrow and have a sleep, you'll find that your brain will have shifted a slight bit. And if you bring more conscious awareness to it, it will kind of stack on each other over time. which becomes
Right.
very, yeah, very powerful. How was this journey for you, by the way?
Um, like the whole social self, or
Yeah,
yeah,
from starting to where you are now. What, yeah, any thoughts, questions, observations?
yeah, it's been good. I think in one of those discussions, or maybe it was like one of those DM chats. I think I chatted with someone, and I just mentioned that I think a lot of it is just for the fact of putting attention to it. Because before social self, I didn't pay any attention to it, and so of course nothing's going to improve if you don't pay any attention to it. So the fact of the good intention plus the great call session, I'm getting good information, and then also I'm seeing how you interact with other people too. I'm just learning from everything. I feel like, yeah, personally, just my social life has improved a lot. Even at work, before I really wouldn't talk to many people at all, and I wouldn't be that comfortable talking to people. But now I feel much more comfortable talking to people. I feel like I'm more interested in people now too. So it really helps. So I'm really glad I've been joining.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, yeah, it's really cool to hear your experience. What would you say some of the main benefits that you've gotten by coming to the calls, by being in the courses, and yeah, what would you say some of the main benefits you've received from this, being in social self?
The main benefits I'd say is like just seeing that you could improve. I'm seeing that everyone's at different levels and just the different thought processes behind it. Uh, a lot of the teachings, like I always love when you get down to like those like ninja secret teachings that you share all the time, because those are just, yeah, it's amazing how they could like enlighten me, and it helps me increase in those areas. So yeah, I've been enjoying it. I think yeah, maybe in the future I could be more active in it somehow. I even had an idea, like you shared that book with me one time, the Napoleon Hill book, not the Rich Think and Grow Rich book, but the other book, the 16 Success, Laws of Success, I think. I'm thinking of maybe even like kind of start like a book club or something on that and just go through a chapter. Actually, one of those chapters are kind of long, each chapter of that book. But maybe I could like start something like that and have people interact. So I don't know, all these different thoughts come to my mind. But the social wise, yeah, definitely helps me in conversation, and I feel more confident, feel better, and I could see like how you're helping other people try to grow in their social skills, which is great, and I think that's a real positive.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, there's and that's cool that I love that you're wanting to like see different ways that you could potentially add to this or create something yourself. I think there's a lot of room for this. I think this information, specifically in the 16 laws of success, is very interesting, powerful information. So, if you're ever wanting to kind of add to the community in some capacity, we're always open for ideas. We're always testing different things and seeing how we can add value to the community. So yeah, absolutely. That's something maybe we could explore in the new year as well. Out of curiosity, Aaron, like what would you say to someone if they were on the fence to joining social self? Like what would you say to them?
I would say that if you don't put attention to it, if you don't really like want to improve, then not going to get better. So one thing that's great about social stuff is they all have that common goal, and there's a lot of space for practice, which is great. And the community is great where you could actually practice, and they have special times of practice, breakout rooms, and very supportive place. So if you just keep at it, you're definitely going to improve. And the leaders there, the teachers, you're going to get like top-notch teaching there, and it's just great. It'll definitely improve. I'll say go for it and sign up and get involved.
Hmm. Awesome. Well, I appreciate the kind words today, Aaron, and it was a lot of fun transforming. Obviously, we're at the scratch of the surface with
Right,
this
right.
kind of transformation, right? This is just
Yeah.
I mean, this is you in a library setting doing
Right, right.
vocal and speech warm-ups, right?
Yeah, I felt like this was kind of like a speech kind of training, which was it's good. It's good. One of the things that I have two sons, 13 and 10, and definitely I know communication and speech is like something that I want them to improve in because it only helps their whole life, right? So yeah, like everything that I learn, I want to pass on to them. So I want them to learn how to give like little talks, even the talk that I gave about exercise, you know, they could become much better speakers than me. So I could help them too. So
Oh, well,
yeah,
that's awesome. And that's hopefully like ideally we pass it down to our children, right? And it's
right.
powerful for them to see that you're investing this time in this aspect of yourself and they'll because they'll just model you, right? So the more you improve, they're just going to model your form of communication. So that's great that you're taking time for this part of yourself and improving. And then also the kind of background subtlety, spiritual awakening, this type of work as well is very, very powerful. And I can see that you're one of the key members kind of that hang around at the end that really kind of thrive in that space. And obviously, I think you can know for me, that's when I come alive too, is all this like deeper. I don't even know what would you describe that? If you were to describe, you could say to someone, "Hey, you should come to the end of the call and join Matthew for what?" How would what words would you put on that? What happens at the end of the call?
Good question. Um, I think like just more deeper level stuff, like you're saying, like you get into more deeper level things and deeper level, I feel is more meaningful too. Like, yeah, when you get down to the more meaningful parts of life, then it actually improves your whole life too. So I would say that part would be like I learned about like the hive mind, like like you know, it takes some time, and after like 45 minutes, then people start falling into the hive mind, and then also like growing together, I guess. And I think when you stick around, yeah, it's more easier to share. People open up more, and then also you get down to more meaningful stuff.
Hmm.
So yeah, I think it's great.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, it's yeah, a lot of shifts and things are coming. I'm excited as well. How's your have you been on the call with Zoe yet? I think you've been on one of the
Yeah,
calls.
yeah. I've been on a couple calls with Zoe where she was with. She's doing a great job.
Yeah, she's doing a great job. But how has your experience been of, if you don't mind me asking, of being on the call with her?
It's been good. I mean, sometimes it's topic related. Like some of the topics I'm not as interested in. Like the last
Sure.
one was just like being confident about like saying no. Um, but yeah, she's like her tone and her personality is very open, very like inviting.
Mm,
So I've been enjoying it. Um, I think you definitely have more deeper experiences. So like you could teach, I guess, at a deeper level, which I like too. So it's just good to learn from different people. Definitely.
yeah. Oh, that's great feedback. Yeah. Um, as well as something that I'm going to hopefully help her with as well is gain her confidence at the depth. And then that takes time to be able to hold the room at that depth and that vibe and then enter that space. But yeah, it's really cool. There's a lot of great shifts coming up in the new year. And as the company's growing and expanding, we're bringing in more energy, new people, and opportunities as well. So yeah, if that's something you're curious about wanting to like explore on how, you feel like there might be a way you want to add to the community, or if you thought maybe, maybe a book club or something like that, we'd be open to having those conversations as well. So, um, if that's something,
Yeah, that's the thought I had because like you're saying that 16 Laws book was like very you would say it's a higher level than Think and Grow Rich, right?
yeah. So Think and Grow Rich, this is the watered down version of that book.
Right, that's what you're saying, right? So yeah, I wouldn't mind because I've never read 16 Laws before. I haven't even read the Think and Grow Rich yet either. Um, but I wouldn't mind like slowly reading it with a group of people and like kind of discuss it
That'd
and
be cool.
kind of like yeah go through it together, I guess. But yeah, I think the main focus of social self is to increase your social skills and communication, and I think it's been doing great. And yeah, actually, I'm trying to be a community support member, but you have to do like those minimum requirements. I've never been able to reach those like 6 posts, like two different posts and like 6 responses every week. I haven't been able to reach those numbers, but yeah, I might try it again, make another effort.
Yeah. What would be more manageable for you? What would be a frequency that you feel like would be more manageable?
Um, I mean, maybe 1 post and 5 responses. I don't
Okay.
know.
Okay.
Yeah, the thing is like even the 2 and 6, I think it is doable, but it does push me because it's kind of hard for me to do it. Uh, but that's actually it could be a positive thing too because uh, yeah, I would always just stay comfortable at doing like 1 post every 2 weeks and maybe a couple responses every month. But to have some like numbers to reach for, it kind of pushes me to be more interactive.
Hmm.
So yeah, I think the 2 and 6 seem like a lot to me. Um, Maybe 1 and 5 is more doable for me.
Okay. Yeah, you're not the only one that has found it a challenge. So maybe the bar's a little too high and that's okay. Because
Or maybe it's good. Maybe just someone has to like maybe I just have to reach that level of 2 and 6, and then I'll be more. I guess you earn it more to be a community support member at that point.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, whoever made it across the line definitely earned it. Yeah, we're gonna kind of, that's on the things to address for 2025 is to, yeah, consider all these types of things. Um, as we're growing and the community is starting to grow. So, yeah, this is all perfect timing for all these conversations as we're looking to 2025 and seeing what and things we're gonna add, and yeah, just keep trying to make the experience better for you guys.
Great, thanks.
Awesome. Well, Aaron, it was really great training with you today. I'm really happy with all the transformation and looking forward to seeing you on more calls. Again, if you got any questions or any ideas, feel free to reach out to me on the app or on email, and I'm happy to keep the conversation going.
Yeah, no, I'm excited to see how things grow. I mean, definitely, I feel like I've seen a lot of the growth already. So, in terms of social health too, like a lot, I see a lot more newer people always coming in, and then like you're saying, extension of the calls with Zoe leading into that's great, and then also what's her name again? Something Mead, like I forget the other person who did the call on social intelligence. She did a call on
Oh,
social health.
Monica.
Yeah, Monica. Yeah, Monica. That he also led the call too. So yeah, I think I could see it growing. So great.
Yeah, and if that's something, just out of curiosity, since I have you here on that, would that be something you'd want to explore for yourself? Would you be open, or would that be something you kind of want to challenge yourself with?
So I'll be open to it, but like definitely like I guess like Monica too, and it would definitely be a challenge for me because it's something I've never done before, of course. But Yeah, I'm open to it, but I don't know what
Okay.
topic I'll choose. I don't know like what I would speak on.
Well, yeah, these are all, part of the next level of communication is, putting on group communication and leading people, and delivering information, organized information. Obviously, you have the information that you'd have time to put together and time to practice with it. And also an element of it is us helping you like kind of workshop the information. Um, Again, this is another level of transformation that I'm looking at, which I think for someone that like yourself that is in the community more and more, you're gonna ideally want that next transformation. And
Right.
for someone that can deliver group communication, that's really you are now entering probably the 10% of the population, that can really deliver information in a group format and group communication, it's like definitely takes a skill. There's skill to it. And there's a lot of people that do it, but how effective do they do it? It's another thing. So
Right.
we're I am considering as another transformative journey for people to go on is learning group communication in that
Mhm.
way. And that's a perfect arena to practice that in.
Yeah. So I guess I am open to it in the future. I don't know how soon, but
No
um,
worries.
yeah,
I, I
yeah,
I like to plant seeds in people and then let's see where they grow. I,
right,
I
right.
I just like to leave the door open. And say, for example, February or March comes around and you remembered this conversation and you're like, huh, and maybe God's speaking to you in some way. And like, I wonder what that would be like. Let me just reach out to Matthew, and you never know. But what I love to do is I love to create opportunities. So I'm all about different levels of transformation. So each person has their level at what they're ready for at what phase. And if people kind of come to me in that way and I planted the seed and they kind of want to follow that, then I'm always open to exploring win-wins. And so it's also powerful, I feel, for people in the community to see people in the community transform before their eyes, you know. And so I'm
Right.
wanting to create these levels for people to keep kind of the momentum going, the energy going, right? And the more comfortable you get in one arena, it's like, okay, let's get you a little bit more uncomfortable now.
Right. I just actually like one of those prayer meeting things that or the worship thing that I went to. Actually, this morning, the guy talked about CrossFit. Like he was about to turn 60 soon. So he said that between 50 and 60, he wanted that decade to be a decade where he focused on his health again because he was getting out of shape. So he learned, the best way to get in shape is CrossFit. So the whole theory of CrossFit is like what's it called? Muscle distraction or something. Yeah, distraction or something where that's how you grow the muscle because your muscle is distracted and or confusion, muscle confusion. That's what it is. And he made a joke that he usually doesn't go to the gym for 6 months at a time. So when he goes to the gym, his muscles confused. So he gets stronger. So, but yeah, a muscle confusion. So yeah, that's kind of God uses like struggles in your life to make you grow stronger. I think what was my point in that? You're talking about
I think probably about different levels of growth.
yeah, you're talking about growth and then the whole confusion. I'm getting confused now, but yeah, just the different challenges make you grow stronger. So, yeah,
Oh, well, that's awesome. Well, yeah, just keep the door open. Just stay open, right? Open mind. And
yeah,
if you yeah, if any seeds of information or inspiration come to you, feel free to message me or email me, and I'd be happy to kind of explore different ways that if it makes sense for the community and makes sense for you, to see about how we can keep growing, but also know that like um honoring where you're at too, right? Where you are today. And sometimes like this is what I've been saying with Zoe, like I'm just creating the environment for her growth. So each plant grows at different rates and at different heights and needs different nutrients for it to grow. So I'm kind of, here's the environment. How quick do you want to grow? You tell me, you know? And that's kind of the journey she's going on right now. So I'm learning a lot by having all of this, and I want to keep more and more doors open for more and more people to continue their growth journey. Because I just remember what it was like for me back then and all these levels that I've had to go through and things. So, and I'm still going through mine as well. But yeah, so really great talking with you today, Aaron. Hope you have a
Okay,
wonderful rest of your day. And I just want to again congratulate you on all your progress and everything you've been able to do so far and being such an awesome dad. It's inspiring. I'm inspired that your desire to want to help your children and it's just great. It's great to see. So take care.
great. All right,
Have a wonderful
bye.
rest of your day. Bye.